Hello geometry students. In this video we'll be going over the answers to the first homework assignment on angles of polygons. It was assigned on Thursday and Friday, January 21st and 22nd, 2021. So we'll be going over those answers right now. Okay, for our first section we are asked to find A, the interior angle sum, and for B we are asked to find the exterior angle sum. So there's a formula for each of these. For the interior angle sum, the sum is equal to the number of sides minus 2 times 180. And for the exterior angle sum, that sum is always just 360. Okay, so for our first problem, a quadrilateral, then we would be calculating right here for A, I'm just going to put, our sum would be 4 minus 2 times 180, because a quadrilateral has 4 sides, so n is 4. 4 minus 2 times 180, put that into your calculator, and we end up with 360 degrees. The sum of the exterior angles is always 360 degrees, no matter how many sides. So B, actually I could fill it all in. B is going to be 360 for every one of these. Alright, for number 2, we have a 12-gon. So our sum is going to be, since n is 12, we would do 12 minus 2 times 180, which is 10 times 180, which is 1800. And for B, the exterior angle sum, that's always 360, no matter how many sides. For number 3, a hexagon that has 6 sides. So we would do 6 minus 2 times 180, 4 times 180, calculator, that's 720 degrees for the interior angle sum. And the exterior angle sum is always 360 degrees, no matter how many sides. And for our last one, a nonagon's n equals 9. So our sum would be 9 minus 2 times 180. That's 7 times 180. That is 1260 for the sum of the interiors. And the exterior angle sum is always 360. So that bottom row is super nice and easy right there. Okay, for our next problems, find the value of x. We are looking at interior angles here. So first we want to find the sum, what all of the angles added up should be, and then we want to set up an equation so that we can solve for x. So in this first one right here, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. So our sum is going to be 5 minus 2 times 180. That sum is 540. Okay, so that means all the angles in this figure add up to be 540. These boxes over here, remember these are 90s, so we have a 90 plus a 90 plus we've got a 160 and a 150 and an x. Doesn't matter what order we put them in, we just need to make sure to get all 5 of them in there, and that sum is going to be this sum we calculated up here, 540. And you can use your algebra or you can just type that equation into Desmos. And if you're doing your math correctly, you will get that x equals 50. For our second problem over here, we're going to do the same thing. This one has 6 sides though, so our sum would be 6 minus 2 times 180. Well, 6 minus 2 times 180, that gives us 720. So we'll write an equation, put in all of these 6 values, they're going to add up to be 720. So we've got an x, we've got a 140, we've got a 120, we've got a 60, we've got a 160, we've got a 150. Let me make sure I got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that sum adds up to be 720 degrees. You can do the algebra on that, or you can plug it in a Desmos. But either way, you should be getting that x is 90. Okay, moving on to our next section. For each polygon, we're asked to find 2 things. We're asked to find an interior angle, and then we're also asked to find an exterior angle. So we first need to find the sum of all of them and then divide by how many angles there are. Okay, so for our first problem, a triangle. Okay, so if it's a regular polygon, they're all the same. Then an interior angle, we know that the sum of all the interior angles is 180 on a triangle. You can also plug that into the formula. 3 minus 1 times 180 does give you 180. And if there's 3 of them, because it's a triangle, then that will give us 60 degrees for an interior angle. For an exterior angle, we take the sum divided by the number of sides. That sum is 360. The number of sides is 3. And when we divide, we get 120. And this makes sense because this interior and this exterior angle, they are supplementary. Let's do the same thing for our other problems. We have a pentagon which has 5 sides. So our sum will be 5 minus 2 times 180. So that sum is 540. And we'll divide by pentagon has 5 sides. And when we divide there, we get 108 degrees. For the exterior angle, we take the sum, which is 360, and divide by the number of sides, number of angles, which is 5. 360 divided by 5 gives us 72. So we have our answers of 108 for interior and 72 for exterior, and these two angles add up to 180 because an interior and an exterior are supplementary. All right, next we have a heptagon which has 7 sides. So our sum will be 7 minus 2 times 180. That sum is 900. When we do 900 divided by 7, this one doesn't come out to be a nice decimal. It keeps going, so we want to round. Let's just round it to the tenths place. Put it in your calculator or Desmos. You should get 128.6. For the exterior angles, we take the sum, which is 360, divide by heptagon has 7 sides. And when we divide that once again, it keeps going, but we'll round to the nearest tenth, which is 51.4. These two do add up to be 180, which is good because an interior angle and an exterior angle are supplementary. For our number 8 here, we've got a decagon, which has 10 sides. So we'll find our sum, which is 10 minus 2 times 180. And when we calculate that, we get 1,440. Divide by decagon has 10 sides. So we get this number is 144. Sorry, I forgot to write it there. And for our exterior angles, 360 divided by decagon has 10. So when we divide that, we get 36. 144 for interior and 36 for exterior. And once again, these two angles do add up to be 180 because interior and exterior form a linear pair. They are supplementary. Okay, now these last two, well, the last one's a little more challenging. Let's see, this one says 5 of the angles of a hexagon have measures 100 degrees, 120 degrees, 130 degrees, 140 degrees, and 110 degrees. Find the measure of the 6th angle. So we need to find the sum. The sum of a hexagon, 6 sides, so we'll calculate 6 minus 2 times 180. That gives us 720. So all 6 of them add up to be 720. We've got that 100 degrees, we've got 120, and 130, and 140, and 110. And that last one, we don't know what that is. That's what we're trying to find. That is x. They add up to be 720. You can do the algebra or you can plug it into Desmos, but either way, you should be getting 120 for that 6th angle. And our last problem on this page, in quadrilateral ABCD, the measure of angle A equals x, the measure of angle B equals 2x, the measure of angle C equals 3x, and the measure of angle D equals 4x. Solve for x. Okay, important information. It is a quadrilateral, so it has 4 sides. So let's find the sum. The sum is going to be 4 minus 2 times 180. So that's going to be 360. All the interior angles together add up to be 360. So we're going to write an equation that says number 1 and number 2 and number 3 and number 4 add up to be 360. So that first one is x. The second one is 2x. The third one is 3x. The fourth one is 4x. And that sum is 360. You can do the algebra on this, or you can go over to Desmos. I'm actually going to do the algebra here. This gives us 10x equals 360. And when we divide by 10, we get that x is 36. So then how do we find angle A, angle B, angle C, and angle D? Okay, angle A is just x, so x is 36, and the measure of angle B, that's 2x, so 2 times 36, that's 72, And the measure of angle C, it tells us, is 3x. So 3 times 36, that is 108. And the measure of angle D tells us up here that D is 4x. If x is 36, then 4 times 36 is 144. And if we add all of these up, we find that they do, in fact, add up to be 360 degrees, which is what the sum of the interior angles of a quadrilateral adds up to be. And that's it.